What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Coming off of another good day on our Underdog Challenge. Guys, I do want to say this right now. If you're not watching the Underdog Challenge videos, you guys are missing out on free slips that cash like these three right here that I literally locked in live. This one wasn't. Actually, these two were locked in live. This one right here was posted in the Discord later. But anyways, some of our cash slip: Gosman, May, and Rogers. A little 1.8x slip, 1.75x. We put a unit and a half on this one that cashed. We had Suarez and Strider, 1.66 payout with 1.5 units on this one. Another 1.5 units on Suarez and Strider for 1.73x. Yes, these plays are very low payout, but they're very, very safe. I mean, Suarez was sweaty, I'm not going to lie, but the rest of it was free. May cashed. Rogers cashed easily. Strider under was free. Suarez K's was free. Strider under strikeouts was free. I gave this one in the free pick video a $1,000 play. We won a band on Suarez over and Strider under. That was the freest $1,000 I've ever made in my life. Our man Toe Nader, shout out to you, brother, for dropping another correlation slip, a little 10x he posted in our Discord that cashed. And then we took the Cincinnati Bengals, we took their money line, put $370 on the Bengals money line, which cashed us out for $200 profit. So that tire payout ended up being $570 from $370, which is a nice $200 off that slip. But if you guys do want to get all of our plays, link is down in the description to our WAP. It's $25 a month or $10 a week. You guys can sign up for with code NFL right now and get 20% off. But back to this Underdog Challenge, guys. I am showing you from scratch how to build a bankroll. Our current bankroll on Underdog is sitting at $351. We started with $100 last week, this is day 7, so it's been almost exactly a week ago. So we've 3.5 extra bankroll. So if you guys are not watching watching these videos, go show us some love. And I am picking a winner from those comments to get the comments on that video to get a free month of VIP as well if it gets 200 likes. So if you can get this video to 200 likes and the other video, which I'll post here in a little bit, to 200 likes, then I'll pick 2 winners for VIP every single day. That being said, get this one right here to 200 likes, and we'll pick another comment down below to win. And the winner from yesterday's comments is going to be Jackson Burns, who said great picks. Jackson, I appreciate that, man. Send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added to that for that free month of VIP. And hopefully we can have us another green day today, because we ended up profiting. We started with $339 yesterday, so $12 profit, which is pretty much a unit profit on Underdog. I was hoping for a little bit better. Joe Burrow hurt me a little bit yesterday. Him and the field goals made props also chalked me. But anyways, that being said, guys, great day today. Got a nice little good sized slate for both WNBA and MLB. If you guys do want to get a free month of our VIP, remember you can sign up for any partnered apps down in the description. There's 7 of them, and you can get up to 7 full months for free. Chalkboard, Underdog, Sleeper, Parlay Play, Better, Novig, or Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month. Just sign up and let me know if you use our code, and we'll get you guys added. But that being said, let's jump into some picks for today. So I got baseball, and we got WNBA. I've been loving some WNBA as of lately. I'm going to be locking in some plays on Underdog that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else on that Underdog Challenge. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, because one of these plays is almost a lock, and I think I found another money glitch on there. I know I'm kind of being funny with saying that, but at the same time, like, you guys, if you're watching the videos, you're going to understand what I mean. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into our first play of the day. We're going to start with WNBA, then we'll move on over to MLB. But the first WNBA pick that I have is going to be for our girl Dearica Hamby. Now, Hamby is the person who has cashed me every time I've taken her. Hamby has not chalked me. There may be one time this season she's chalked me, and I have played her 10 plus times. Hamby, 14.5 line, has cashed 10 of 10 games, 18 of 20, and has cashed 76% of games on the season. Head-to-head data versus the Dallas Wings. They're playing tonight. They're playing at home in LA. She's cashed it 5 or 6 straight games, averaging 21.5 points per game. Hamby is one of those players, like one of my favorite players right now. She really is. I like her. I like Bueckers. I like Kiki. I like I'm not gonna say Citrums. I like what's her name? Aja Wilson. But anyways, this isn't a a glazing journey for the WNBA. I'm just telling you players that I've liked that's just been cashing me a lot. But anyways, Hamby, 14.5 points. This is a great line. Dallas points defense, second worst in the league. They give up 87 points per game. If you come over here to Props Madness, we can pull up this LA Sparks game versus the Dallas Wings. We can click Dearica Hamby. You can see her line, 17.5. So if you want to take Hamby, I'm just going to pull it up real quick. Her original line at a 1.8x is 17.5 points. If you want to play her there, it's not a bad play. It's really not. There's nothing in between. I was hoping there'd be like a 15.5 point line for like a 1.5x. That's what I wanted to take. The payout at 14.5 is not very good, but 17.5 is favored to go under. So it's one of those, like, you kind of got to pick if you want to risk it for really high payout or decide if you want to play it safe. If you look at her last 10, 6 of the last 10, she's had at least 18 points. She's probably going to get 18 points tonight versus the Sparks, but a lot of these games are close. 20, 20, and 19 in those 3 games. So, depends on how you look at it, guys. This season, 2 games with 20 points. I'm probably just going to play her safe. That's just the style that I play. I don't like these super risky parlays. I'd rather play it safe, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So, if you want to take her at 17.5, not a bad play. If you look at the matchup here, everything's yellow. Don't really have to go in depth on these numbers. I mean, she shoots 74% of her shots under the rim against the 7th ranked defense, which is middle of the pack. So that's pretty much the extent of looking at her shot chart, to be honest with you. But regardless, Dearica Hamby, that's one of my favorite plays at 14.5, and I'm going to be locking her in. So that's going to be our first pick of the day for WNBA. Who are we going to pair her with? So I've got a couple of different pairs. We can pair her with, the first one is going to be Ogwumike. So you guys know I like Nneka Ogwumike. I'm pretty sure I'm saying her last name slightly wrong, but I'm just going to, that's what I've been calling her, and I haven't looked up how to pronounce her last name, so we're just going based off of syllables. Ogwumike. So anyway, that's what I'm going to call her. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, tell me in the comments, please, and I'll try to fix it. But anyways, Ogwumike over 14.5 points is another play that has been a wagon. She's cashed it 4 straight games, 9 of her last 10 games, 80% of her last 20 games. She's cashed it 71% of games on the season. Head-to-head versus the Chicago Sky, she has cashed it 2 of 4 games. She has 1 game this season. She dropped 10 points. You say, wow, how can she not score versus the Sky? It has nothing to do with scoring versus the Sky. It has to do with the score. 95 to 57. Chicago only scored 57 points that game. They got blown out by 40 points. She only played 20 minutes. So look at the amount of minutes she's getting. 34, 35, 36, whatever, 20. You get 20 minutes, you can't expect her to go over this line. This season, she's averaging 31 minutes per game. There's only been 1 blowout game where she's had that few minutes. That's versus the Sky. The Sky suck. Let's be honest. Hopefully they can keep this game close. 14.5 points. I'm still going to lock for our girl Ogwumike. She shot, even in that game, she shot 10 field goal attempts. She shot 50%. She would have had to shoot very, very accurate, like almost 80% for this to even cash. 8 of 10. It would have had to be 80% on the dot for her to have went over with the amount of shots she took that game. So that being said, I don't think it's going to be a 40-point blowout this game. I'm thinking it's going to be at least slightly more competitive. This was in Chicago. Tonight's game is in Chicago, so we'll see. You can see their points. They give up 10th in the league in points at 86 points per game on average. We can't come over here to Ogwumike. We can click this game, Seattle versus Chicago. We're going to scroll down to Nneka, and you can see the matchup here is perfect, man. She shoots 36% of her shots under the rim, 11th worst defense under the rim. She shoots 16% mid-range against the 9th ranked defense, and then she shoots overall 24% from behind the three-point line. They have a bottom 3 defense in every spot from both the corner threes and you can see 11th right here. She shoots 3% from the corner 3 against the worst defense in the league. So the only place she has a tough matchup is in the paint, going against the #1 defense in the paint. She does shoot 24% of her shots, but she shoots 66% of her, man, my math is bad. 76% of her shots from the rest of the field. So, I mean, great matchup everywhere except for 24% of the plays. You can't not take her here. So Ogwumike is another play that I like. I'm not sure what the payout is on this one. It's a 1.3x. I don't like that. I mean, you can play this slip for 1.74x. You can't play it on here because it's got to be a 1.75x. So we can't do Ogwumike with this. But what I did see was you can take Ogwumike with a promo that I like. So WNBA promos they have Kiki. I'm taking Kiki, 19.5 points and rebounds. This is a 1.85x slip, and I don't think I had Ogwumike with this. I think I had Hamby with this actually. I think because the one I was looking at was a 1.75 on the dot. So Hamby. So it's 1.79x. So I'm going to lock this in as our first slip of the day, just so you guys know. So we're going to take Kiki's boosted play on Parlay Play. It's a promo. Code Fantasy Aces on Parlay Play gets you a free $5 and a month of our VIP and a deposit match. Just throwing it out there. But Kiki has been a wagon for us. I made the mistake of taking a Kiki under in the last time she played. She got lucky, or we got unlucky, first of all, that she had 9 free throws. 9 free throws that game. Obviously, she's going to go over the 15.5 point line, especially when she shoots that many. So you can come down here and look. Free throws. She had 9, hit 8 of them. So 8 of her points here was from just free throws. You take away 3 free throws, and she cashed our line for us. But anyways, that being said, points and rebounds for Kiki is one of those props that should cash. You can see on the season, she's averaging 12.85 points. And then she's averaging 8.5 rebounds. If you do the math on the average, she's averaging around 21 points and rebounds on average. But we're going to look at her PR here, 21.35 on average. I don't know why I didn't just click that. Why did I not just click this instead of doing the math that way? Anyways, 19.5. She's cashed 59% on the season so far, averaging 21.35. Looking at her head-to-head data versus Connecticut, they're playing against Connecticut again. You can see no games or 2 games this season, 31 and 17 points in points and rebounds in those games. So 14 rebounds and 17 points, then 5 rebounds and 12 points. I'm expecting Kiki to drop somewhere close to 15 points again. Give her 5 rebounds and we're good. If you go to 5, if we click her rebound line and give her 5 boards, she's cashed that 85% of the games. How many times again? How many games has she got 15 points lately? You can see in her last 10, 5 of her last 10, she dropped 15 points. So Kiki's one of those, like, she doesn't score a lot of points. She doesn't shoot a lot of shot volume. Obviously, she draws a lot of fouls. We have noticed that in the last few games. You can see she's at 18 points in 2 games in a row. But her points and rebounds line I like a lot. I really do at 19.5. I think we're getting a good value here at a 1.3x on Parlay Play. You can see they give up 20 rebounds per game. So Connecticut does have a terrible rebounding defense, and they do give up 11th in the league in points. So they give up a ton of points, give up a lot of rebounds. Good matchup for Kiki. We can pull this up, come over here to the Sun game. So Connecticut versus Washington. We're going to click Kiki, and you can look at the shot chart. Kiki shoots 69% under the rim. Worst defense in the league under the rim. So just looking at, I don't care if the rest of it was red. She shoots majority of her shots under the rim against the worst defense. So it's automatically a good matchup in terms of the shot charts. For me, it's a no-brainer on this one. I've got to take her. I'm going to max out this promo as much as I can. 250 is going to win 447. You're going to see me lock that in live. Track picks. You guys can't see. Hamby, Kiki, 250 for 447. It is legit. I'll refresh it so you guys can see. There it is. But anyways, we're going to be locking in another WNBA slip real quick. Live, just so you guys know. And you guys know we're going to be using Ogwumike. She was our last pick. So Ogwumike at 14.5 points. You got to put your money where your mouth is. You have to if you're giving away picks, you have to lock in the plays you're giving away. If you're not, then you're just trolling. Let's be honest. But anyways, Kiki was our 3rd pick. Last pick I had is Paige Bueckers. So I like Bueckers again tonight. PRA or points, either one. If you get her points line 17.5, I think Paige drops 17.5 or 18 points. So let's pull Bueckers up. Let's look at her lines and see what we have. So Bueckers, 1.53x to go over 17.5. She's cashed it in 6 of her last 10. Now, if you want to play it super safe, her 14.5 line is pretty much like, that's the line she's going to dominate. 9 straight games, 80% on the season. Head-to-head, she had 29 points versus the Sparks her last game. Playing in LA again, like we've already talked about, Sparks have the worst points defense in the league. They give up 89 points per game. It's going to be a great matchup for Bueckers to drop some points. And she's proven this season already in her only game back on, and that was, 4 days ago, that she can drop almost 30 points versus the Sparks. So, got to remember that. 17.5 is a good line. If you lock that in, you have a double up on this slip. Another play that I like is her PRA at 24.5. 24.5, this gives you a 1.69x, so you can't even lock this slip in on Parlay Play. So, I'm going to have to either add a 3rd play with this with the PRA, or we're going to have to take her at 17.5 points. I'm going to risk it at the 17.5 points. That's what I'm going to do. This slip I don't like as much as the other one. I'm going to be honest. I think both of these plays are sweatier than both of the other plays. But that being said, I'm going to take a chance on it, and that's what I'm going to lock in. So we got Bueckers, and then Ogwumike points, and then we got Hamby points with Kiki points and rebounds. So you can lock in those 2 slips if you want. If you want to fade them, you're more than welcome. Did I lock 252 on this? I must have fat fingered a 2 instead of a 0. Anyway, it don't matter. But regardless, we're going to get everything swapped over to MLB, and we're going to jump into some of those plays as well. So we're going to close out Props Madness. Forgot to pull up the Bueckers play, but anyways, y'all get the point. It's going to be a good matchup versus the Sparks. Jumping into baseball. First pick for baseball that I have for today. We only have 2. We're taking our man Sheehan. So Emmet Sheehan, however you want to say his name. For the Dodgers pitcher, we're taking him under fantasy score. So it's under 30.5 fantasy score on underdog. So if you want to lock this in, you can. Looking at this prop, he's cashed it 4 of his last 5. He's cashed it 5 of his 6 games on the season. Playing in Colorado, in Coors Field. You know how pitchers get lit up in Coors Field. It's a good spot for our man Emmet to get lit up. So looking at him, he is 3-2 on the season with a 3.86 ERA and a 1.23 WHIP, going against a bottom tier offense. We know Colorado is one of the worst offensive teams in the league. They are at home though. At home, Colorado is slightly better. Pitchers get lit up in Coors Field all the time. You guys see it all the time. Fantasy score under 30.5 is really all I have to say. I did do a little write-up in the Discord that I'll go ahead and talk about right quick, and I'll tell you what I have. It's a series in Coors Field. Coors is a different animal that we've seen with Yamamoto last night. Yamamoto started off hot, then he got lit up. It's just how it goes for these pitchers in Coors Field. A lot of times they start out getting lit up. They don't even start out strong. So Sheehan normally stays in the mid-70 pitches. Pitch count's not very high. If you come down here, can't see pitch count, so we'll do outs. Pitch count. You can see he's averaging around 76 pitches per game. He had 91 his last game versus the Angels. He's not going to get over 100 pitches like our man Yoshi did. So just throwing that out there. He's only been over this line 1 in his last 7 starts. We guys just saw that, and it's just a great matchup for our man Emmet here. So I got to lock him in under 30.5 fantasy score, which I'm taking this on underdog if you guys do want to lock that in. Second pick of the day that we took is going to be for our man Lopez. I'm taking Jacob Lopez. I'm taking Lopez to go over fantasy score. This is the Oakland Athletics pitcher pitching in Minnesota versus the Twins, obviously. And we're taking his fantasy over 30.5. It just happens to be the exact same line on underdog. And let's take a look at it. So this season, he's cashed it 7 of 15 games, which obviously is not a very high hit rate. He's averaging 31 fantasy score per game, though. A lot of these games he's getting in the 50s, 61, and then 58 versus Tampa Bay his last game. Pitching versus the Twins. Head-to-head data versus the Twins, we don't have any. But if you look at our man Lopez on the season, he has a 6-6 with a 3.29 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. He's been pitching pretty well. Versus the Twins, it shows he's 0-1. I don't know why there's a... Maybe his fantasy score was in the negative, and that's why it doesn't show it. But anyways, versus the Twins, he gave up 10.38 earned runs, and then it was 138 WHIP with 18.69 strikeouts per 9 innings. So struck out a lot of batters that game. Gave up a lot of runs that game. Fantasy score was down. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up his Ks here. So his Ks is sitting at 5.5 Ks. Head-to-head, everything for head-to-head is just going to show 0. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyways, gets a decent amount of strikeouts per game, averaging almost 11 Ks per 9 innings. So high strikeout pitcher going against a team that starting out the season, they strike out a lot. But as of the last 30 games, they're kind of a bottom 10 in terms of strikeouts, giving up 20.5% strikeout rate. He should get at least 5 Ks. Looking at 5 Ks, you're looking at least 5 innings. That gives you 30. Could pull out more than that, could pull out less than that. You never know how this is going to go, guys. I think he goes over 30.5 fantasy score overall. That's just my opinion on this, and I'm going to be locking him in. So if you guys want to tell him, Jacob Lopez, 30.5 fantasy score on underdog. I have a little write-up in the Discord that I wrote up on this one. I'll go ahead and read it to you guys, too. Lopez has 133 strikeouts and only 84 innings on the season. He's really coming to his own as of lately. He's pitching really, really good. He has 58 and 63 fantasy score in his last 2 games against Tampa and Washington. This Minnesota team just isn't that good. They're near the bottom of the league in every offensive category. They're also middle of the pack in the league in terms of strikeouts. So they do strike out middle of the pack, and that is on the season. That's not in their last 30. The last 30, they have just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, being a little bit more patient, not taking a lot of unnecessary swings. But win bonus is going to be tough with Joe Ryan on the other side. I don't know that the A's get the win, so he probably won't get the win, but it is possible. You never know here. But I do see a quality start. I see him going 6 innings, getting that quality start, giving up less than 3 runs or less. And I like to play for a man, Jacob Lopez. So he's been looking good. 30.5 fantasy should be something he can pull out. If he goes 6 innings, he gets at least 6 Ks, in my opinion. And I think he goes 6 innings. You can come over here, click his pitching outs. And you can see his line was set to 16.5. You look, he's getting around 88.2 pitches. Had one game versus Washington with 114 pitches, pitching 5 innings per average on average. But regardless, man, I like the odds here that he gives us 30.5 fantasy. I think we're getting good value at a regular payout. Now, if we play this on parlay play, I'm not sure that we can. For fantasy, now they don't have his fantasy on the board, so you gotta lock it in on Underdog if you want to, and we might lock it in on our challenge. We're going to do the challenge video live here in just a minute if you guys do want to go see that one. But anyways, guys, that's what I have for today. You have 2 slips locked in over here for WNBA, and then I gave you guys a slip that is on Underdog. It was not posted on my Underdog challenge, but Ace posted it on his Underdog account. So I can't play this $160 personally. Just throwing it out there. I'm actually costing myself money by doing this challenge because could have won big over the last week. But anyways, 160 to win 700 is the third slip. If you guys do want to tell, you can see we did lock it in on Underdog. But anyways, guys, that's what I've got for today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you didn't, then sorry. Let me know what I can do better. If you did, then I appreciate you guys. And yeah, if you want to check out the Underdog Challenge video, be posted here in a minute. We'd love to have you guys on that one as well. It's not doing quite as good as I was hoping it would do, but it's still doing okay. But anyways, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I hope you guys cash every single slip, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.